Hey mama, if you've ever found yourself yelling at your kids and then feeling awful afterward, this video is for you. You love your children so deeply, but sometimes the noise, the mess, the constant demands, it just builds up until something inside of you snaps. And then afterward, you think, why did I do that? That's not the mom I want to be. I've been there too. But here's the good news. You do not have to stay stuck in that cycle. With awareness, a few practical tools, and God's help, you can learn to respond with calm, love, and compassion, no matter the circumstances. Welcome back to Shandy's Sacred Space, a place where overwhelmed mamas are reminded that motherhood isn't just hard, it's holy. Here we slow down, breathe, pray, and get to the root of what's really going on so we can rise up stronger in the Lord. Let's trade chaos for clarity and discover the sacred strength available to us right here and right now. So oftentimes, when I'm choosing the topic of my videos, it's not because I've mastered them. It's actually because it's something I want to work on and something I want to grow in and something I want to know more about. So today I'm going to walk us through 6 biblical and practical steps that will help us stop yelling and start responding the way our hearts truly want to. We're going to talk about identifying our triggers, pausing before we react, lowering our voice, preparing our words ahead of time, seeing the need beneath our children's behavior, and learn how to repair when we do mess up. By the end of this video, we will have simple steps we can start practicing today to bring peace back into our homes and peace back into our hearts. So take a deep breath. You're not alone in this. Let's invite God into our reactions and learn how to love our children the way He does, patiently, firmly, and full of grace. Step number 1, we must identify our triggers, and we must name them so they lose their power. So why? Knowing our common triggers, such as the time of the day, the lack of sleep, the repeated requests, phone interruptions, feeling disrespected, the noisy chaos, perhaps hunger, or memories of our own childhood. We must plan ahead instead of reacting. So let me give you some practical examples. You can keep a trigger log for 3 to 7 days. You can write down the time of the day or the situation, perhaps what the child did, or what you were thinking or feeling when you felt triggered, and this will help create greater levels of awareness. After 7 days, you can circle the top 3 repeated triggers. And then you can make one simple if-then plan. So think of it as the word if with an arrow to then. If my child is disrespectful, if my child doesn't listen, if my children are arguing, then. So instead of snapping and allowing ourselves to get triggered, we will already have a plan set in place for when these things arise. A micro habit may look like writing down one sentence. My top trigger is when my kids are arguing. My if-then plan is to simply breathe, pray, and then respond. And by doing this over and over again, we are literally going to change the way we think. We are going to change the chemistry in our brain so we can respond the way we want to rather than reacting emotionally. Let me give you a sample short line to say in the moment. Mama's batteries are low. Mama needs 1 minute to breathe, and then Mama can help. A scripture that may be helpful for these moments. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Psalm 139:23. We can always invite God into honest self-examination. Also, as I've mentioned previously in other videos, we are in the process of growing in the fruit of the Spirit. And every time we react emotionally, this is a great opportunity for us to remember and acknowledge the areas that we still need to grow in. Step number 2, pause before you react. Turn a reflex into a response. So why is this helpful? Yelling is usually an automatic reaction. A micro pause lets your brain shift from fight and flight mode to a wise response. Mama, I know this may feel impossible. Trust me, I've been there, and this is still something I'm working on. But the more awareness we have and the more intentional we are about the specific areas in our lives that we want to change, the more we will be able to change them. Let me give you a few examples of something that you can start today. Use a quick, reliable pause ritual. Something like stop plus 5 deep breaths. I really like the 4, 2, 6, where you inhale for 4, hold for 2, and exhale for 6. You can honestly customize this to whatever breathing work you enjoy and whatever feels good in your body. Use a grounding phrase. Pause, pray, and proceed. Another one I really like is breathe, bless, and begin again. That one is so cute, and I have done it a handful of times. So even my little girls will say, Mommy, breathe, bless, and begin again. You can always cry out to God in prayer as well. But the ultimate goal here is to train our brains to not react emotionally, but to train our brains to respond intentionally. Physically step back or sit down if standing feels like too much. It can be really helpful to have a phrase or a prayer already planned ahead of time, so when these situations or circumstances arise, you already have them ahead of time. Something like, I'm going to take a breath and then I'll tell you what needs to happen. Something that can be very helpful is identifying how we feel and saying it out loud. And so I've gotten away from saying, you're being a brat, you're being disrespectful, you're driving me crazy. And I've worked really hard to say something like, I feel overwhelmed, I feel frustrated. Because once I start identifying how I feel, then my girls know that I'm struggling and they can have compassion for me. They know mommy needs prayer or mommy needs a moment of silence. And that can be very, very helpful. 2 very encouraging scriptures. James 1:19, be slow to speak, quick to listen, and slow to become angry. I know it's easier said than done, but that's what we're working on. That's our goal here. And then Proverbs 15:1, a gentle answer turns away wrath. I think oftentimes our kids get really worked up because we're not able to respond gently. And like I said before, I know this is easier said than done, but we are in the process of sanctification, and this is something we can definitely grow in. This is the will of God, that we grow in the fruit of the Spirit. Step number 3, lower your voice on purpose and with intention. Softness holds authority. Isn't that so powerful? Softness holds authority. We can be soft and firm at the same time. And doesn't that hold such great authority? So why? Our tone of voice carries more than words. Speaking softer forces you to regulate and often draws your child in rather than escalating them. So some practical moves here. Kneel down so you are eye level. Place a hand on your heart or their shoulder to connect. Use a calm, even pitch and short phrases. If needed, make your words firm but quiet. You can also practice a calm, nonverbal cue. You can get creative with this one. When my children are having a hard time, they really appreciate a hug. A hug seems to calm them right down. A few sample scripts. I need your hands in your own space. If you need help, use your words. Or, I'm not yelling, I'm asking quietly again. Please stop. A wonderful scripture for this area. Put on then, as God's chosen ones, compassion, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience. Colossians 3:12. Softness and patience are spiritual practices. Step number 4. Prepare a script for hard moments. Rehearse calm so it becomes a habit. Yelling often becomes one of our habits as moms because being a mother is a difficult journey. However, we can break this habit and create a new habit. So when we are triggered, our brain defaults to whatever we've practiced in the past. So when we rehearse new phrases, we can learn to have those phrases and think those phrases and respond out of those phrases when these circumstances occur. So how do we build it? Create a 5-7 go-to phrase, like one-liners, and practice them out loud for 5 minutes every day, for a week, or however long it takes for them to become more natural. You can keep them on an index card in the kitchen or your nightstand, wherever you'll see them and read them regularly. So let me give you some examples. I see that. You may use your words or take a break. Or stop. Hands are for helping. If that continues, I'll put the toy away for 2 minutes. Or, Mama needs a minute. I will be right back. Or, I feel very frustrated right now. Please give me a minute. Or, I can see you're having a very difficult time. Let's have 10 minutes of quiet time. You can adjust these phrases to whatever it is that you are in need of in your season of motherhood. If you really want to get creative, you can role play with your spouse or in the mirror. I know the mirror might be awkward. Maybe you don't feel comfortable with your spouse. I hope you do. You could even do it with a close friend. But the more we talk about these things and rehearse these things, the more we're actually teaching our brains to respond the way we want to respond with love and compassion rather than reacting emotionally. Let me give you a few more encouraging scriptures. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in settings of silver. Proverbs 25:11. If anyone thinks himself religious and does not bridle his tongue, his religion is worthless. James 1:26. Step number 5. Meet the need beneath the behavior with compassion and boundaries. Many behaviors are communication, such as hunger, tired, overstimulation, boredom, needs, or connection. Responding to the need reduces escalation and teaches self-regulation. Quick checks to run in 60 seconds. Is the child hungry, thirsty, tired, dirty? Offer a quick fix. Does the child need to move? Offer 2 minutes of jumping jacks. running, walking, bouncing, maybe an outside walk or run? Is the child seeking connection? Perhaps you could offer a hug or cuddles or even suggest reading a book together. As mamas, we always have to be looking underneath the surface of why our children behaving the way they are. Here are a few practical scripts. You can say something like, "Do you want to sit on my lap or do you want some quiet time with your book?" You can use your words, or we can use a calm down spot. Yeshua modeled compassion and tenderness. In Matthew 9:36, it said that he had compassion on them. Also, in Galatians 6:2 we read, "Bear one another's burdens." Bearing a child's need is practical love. Step number 6, repair if you do yell. Model humility and restoration. Kids learn more from how we fix our mistakes than from never making them. Repair strengthens trust and teaches apology. Immediate repair steps may look like this. Get down to their level, take responsibility, and say, "Mommy yelled. Mommy is very sorry. Will you forgive me? Can I try again?" Name the feeling briefly. Mommy was really frustrated because Mommy's very tired. This is not your fault. Will you please forgive me for yelling? And you can always offer a simple restorative action. This may look like a hug or breathing together, dancing together, reading a book together, going for a walk. You can get really creative depending on how much time you have. If you remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift. First be reconciled to your brother. Matthew 5:23. Also, Colossians 3:13 says, "Forgive one another as the Lord has forgiven you." It's never about being a perfect mom, because there is no such thing as a perfect mom. It's about walking in love and compassion and in humility. It's about getting really good at acknowledging our sin, repenting quickly, and repairing quickly, because our children are always so forgiving. So let's do a quick recap on everything we've talked about in today's video. Step number 1, name your triggers. Step number 2, pause. Step number 3, lower your voice. Step number 4, use your script. Step number 5, meet the need. And step number 6, repair quickly. Sweet mama, I just want to remind you, you are not failing because you yell sometimes. You are growing, you are learning, and with every small step, God is softening your heart and shaping you into the mom that He's called you to be. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress and presence. Every time you pause, lower your voice, or repair with love, you are planting seeds of peace in your home. So give yourself grace today. You are doing holy, sacred work, raising little hearts to know love, patience, and truth. Keep inviting God into your reactions and your routines. He's with you in the noise and in the chaos and in the quiet moments of surrender. If this video encouraged you, make sure to check out the video description for your free printable with these steps and the scripture reminders we talked about. And remember, Mama, you can do this. You are never alone. And with God's help, peace truly can become your new normal. Please like, subscribe, and share with another mama who could use this encouragement today. I will see you in the next video.